Hi, my name is Mary, and I'm an occupational therapist who specializes in tic disorders and Tourette syndrome. So today I'm going to make a video explaining what is CBIT. So many people have this question, and I hear time and time again that my clients go to YouTube to watch videos to find out what it's all about. So I'm going to give you the quick information that you need to know if CBIT is right for you. So CBIT is a type of behavioral therapy, and basically what it does is it teaches you how to manage your tics better. So it's not a cure, and it's not something that can necessarily make your tics go away 100%, but it does help a lot. So how does it work? So basically CBIT has several components that are really important. First components that we address is relaxation training. What does that mean? Basically, relaxation training is where we teach you to recognize the signs of stress and tension in your body and to learn how to use your nervous system to calm. We all know that tics and the increase in tics correlates with the arousal of our nervous system state. You've seen this before. When you're stressed out, what happens to your tics? When you're really excited, what happens to your tics? So whether it's a positive stress or a negative stress, we want to help the person understand those signals in their body so that they can better manage it. The next step that we do is we create a tic hierarchy. Basically what that means is we go through all of the tics that you have and we decide which are the tics that are worth our time to improve. So you may have some tics that don't really bug you. We're not even going to bother with those. We're going to work on the ones that are really going to move the needle in your life so that you feel better and that you can function better. The next step is called tic detective. So you've seen how suggestible your tics can be. You've experienced this yourself, where if you're around certain people, certain situations, certain places, you might tic more. We've also seen this on videos all over the internet, on TikTok, where people will hear somebody repeat a phrase and then all of a sudden it becomes one of their tics. So instead of kind of being like, oh man, that stinks that they're so suggestible, we're actually gonna use that as a hack to be able to work on your tics and improve them a lot better. So we do this by playing a game called the Tic Detective, and we look at the environments, situations, sensory input, people, expectations that center around a specific tic that you have, and then we decide if there's any things that we can modify to improve that. And it really is going to shed a lot of light on things that maybe you didn't notice were happening. It's pretty cool. Before we actually work on a target tic, we do something that's called awareness training. So you can't work on something that's out of your awareness. And so what we do is we teach the person to help figure out and articulate, if they can, the feeling that comes before a tic. You may have heard it called a premonitory urge. Not every tic has one, but if it does, we really want to hone in on that so that the person knows, oh, yep, my tic is happening. So we do that through coaching and practice so that we're really aware, when is that tic happening, and are there signs and signals from my body that are helping me understand that. Once you get really good at awareness training, we then begin kind of the core part of CBIT therapy. That is the habit reversal training. So in that part of therapy, once you feel that premonitory urge, that feeling, we then together come up with what's called a competing response. So a competing response is a movement, a motor pattern, a breath pattern that makes it really hard for you to do your tic. It could be something that uses opposite muscle groups. It could be something that is a different way of breathing. So if you have a tic that's a vocal tic where you're exhaling out of your mouth, we may try to exhale through your nose. So it's something that feels different to your brain, and your brain is gonna say, no, this is weird, this is different. So it's really causing your brain to stop and think, and it's helping that tic cycle not to continue. Once we've come up with that competing response, we want to generalize it, we want it to get easier, and so we practice with specific drills so that you get really good at doing that. Then when you're actually experiencing the tic, it makes it so much easier to do that competing response. Do we have to do a competing response for our whole life? No. So here's the really cool part about your brain and about CBIT. Through something called neuroplasticity, our brain starts to learn the new pathway that we're making, and then it becomes so much easier not to do the tic. Typically what tends to happen with my clients is that premonitory urge goes from being really high to a lot lower where it may still be there and they may still feel it, but the intensity has really turned down, and so they're able to resist doing the tic, and then the feeling passes. Sometimes what happens too is once one tic is mastered, the brain starts generalizing that to other tics, and it really becomes so much easier for you to manage your tics. Do we address anxiety in CBIT? It really depends on your provider. So providers of different disciplines can provide CBIT therapy. So some people that do CBIT are psychologists, some people are nurses, some people are social workers. I'm an occupational therapist. And so I actually look at doing therapy for tics from a sensory-based lens and a nervous system regulation lens. So for me, that's a huge part of CBIT because I really feel like it's an essential part to managing your tics. So yes, we do dive into your anxiety. We do dive into how it reflects in your nervous system, and we give you tools and strategies and technologies to help with that. So if that's something that you're really interested in, you might want to look for a provider who can offer that in addition to CBIT. If you're thinking, oh man, I really want to get involved in CBIT, I think this would benefit my child, I think it would benefit me as an adult, I work with adults all the time, you can contact me. My website is helpfortics.com, and you can either go to my website, reach me there, reach out. I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have and help you on your journey.